Hey guys, how are you? And welcome to Russian Plus. In this video, we'll take a look at the 30 largest cities in Russia. I'll give you some brief info in each city, location on the map, pros and cons, weather, and total annual sunshine hours, because sun is important, right? Russia is a huge country, and you'll have a better understanding of it after watching this video. So let's start. Number 30. The 30th largest city in Russia is Kemerovo. The city has a population of 485,000 people. It's located in southwest Siberia on Tom River, in the major coal mining region known as Kuzbas, where 70% of Russian coal is mined. Kemerovo was founded in 1918, and since then, coal industry has been dominant in the city. In addition to that, the chemical industry is big too. No wonder Kemerovo has an air quality problem. Once in a nearby town, they had black snow because of the coal dust. Luckily, the city is one of the greenest in Russia. Average salary is $629 per month. As with most Siberian cities we're going to cover, the major downside is long, cold winters. However, this didn't stop the population of Kemerovo from growing by 14% since 2002, which brought a lot of new housing. Some of it is very impressive. Look at this neighborhood. You can live comfortable in Siberia too. This is what Russian housing should look like, I think. What do people do for fun here? Well, you can drive to Chernihiv, which is one of the best ski resorts in Russia, or to Altai Mountains, which is a fantastic place to be in the summer. Yearly sunshine hours? 1,965. To help you understand if that's good enough, I'll give you a point of reference. London gets 1,400 sunshine hours per year. New York, 2,500. Madrid, Spain, 2,700 hours. Alright, let's keep going. Number 29. Tomsk. Tomsk is just 3 hours away from Kemerovo. It's standing on that same Tom River, and it almost has the same population, 488,000 people. It's one of the oldest towns in Siberia, founded in 1604. Today it's a college town with 9 universities and a number of research institutions and over 100,000 students, giving rise to the city's nickname, the Siberian Athens. The average salary is $670 a month. You're gonna get paid well working for oil and gas companies, but working in a grocery store will only pay $200 or $300 a month. Good jobs are scarce, and a lot of major companies closed down over the last 10 years. As with Kemerovo, climate is a major downside. But here it's even worse because it's further up north. The record low for Tomsk is negative 55 Celsius. Add short summers and mosquitoes on top of that and you get the picture. Nevertheless, the population increased by 16% since 2002, which brought a lot of new residential construction. Number 28. Orenburg. Orenburg is a city in southwest Russia on Ural River near the border with Kazakhstan with a population of 549,000 people. The city was founded in 1743 and played a major role in Pugachev's rebellion from 1773 to 1774, the largest peasant revolt in Russian history. The city is famous for its Orenburg shawls made from goat down, one of the classic symbols of Russian handicraft, along with the Russian dolls. In 1966, natural gas fields were discovered near the city. That's why major employers in the city today are energy companies, but the average salary is just $553. Downsides are limited opportunities, lack of good-paying jobs, and remoteness from the major cities. Also, the climate is not very comfortable. You get very hot summers and cold and windy winter. Also, there's hardly any forests or nature, mostly steppes. From 2002, the population increased by just 4.4%. Well, at least they get a good amount of sunshine, 2,269 hours. Number 27. Vladivostok. Vladivostok has a population of 601,000 people, and it's a major Pacific port city in Russia, overlooking around the Golden Horn Bay on the Sea of Japan, near the borders with China and North Korea. It was founded in 1860 as a military outpost. It's the terminus of the Trans-Siberian Railway, which links it to Moscow in a 7-day journey. Tourism plays a major part in the city's economy. The city is hilly and is famous for its giant cable-stayed bridges and the Ruski Island with a new campus of Far Eastern Federal University. From 2002, the population increased by just 1%, which means it's not growing. Young professionals try to move away to Moscow or St. Petersburg. The city's main industries are logistics, commercial fishing, and the naval base. The average salary is pretty high at $826 a month, which is impressive, but consumer prices in Vladivostok are 28% higher than in Yekaterinburg. Climate is not the best. It's humid and it's windy, but it's sunny at least. The warmest month is August, so if you decide to visit Vladivostok, come in August. The biggest downside is that the city is extremely far away from everything, 9,000 kilometers away from Moscow, and the 7-hour time difference with Moscow makes it very challenging to do business as usual. The good thing about living here is there are plenty of beaches and secluded places, fresh seafood, and direct flights to Asian countries. I once took a direct flight to Taiwan from here. Took 3.5 hours, very convenient. Alright, number 26. Now we're gonna relocate to central Russia, to the city of Yaroslavl. Yaroslavl is just 250 kilometers northeast of Moscow. It's located at the confluence of the Volga and the Khabarovsk rivers. In 2021, the city had a population of 601,000 people. It's part of the Golden Ring group of ancient towns around Moscow. It was founded all the way in the year 1010. It's hard to believe it, but in the 17th century, it was Russia's second largest city. The historic part of the city is a World Heritage Site, with monasteries like the Golden Dome Transfiguration Church with 16th century frescoes. Besides the tourist part, Yaroslavl is a large industrial center. There's a motor plant, an electric locomotive repair plant, a shipbuilding plant, as well as oil refining and chemical industries, but the city economy is not doing too well. The average salary is just $560, and since 2002 the population decreased by 2%. It seems like the biggest upside of the city is its proximity to Moscow. Number 25. Makhachkala. Makhachkala is the capital and the largest city of the Republic of Dagestan. It was founded in 1844 as a fortress of the Russian Empire. The city is located on the Caspian Sea with a population of over 604,000 people, which is up almost 31% from 2002. Makhachkala is one of the fastest growing cities in Russia and is currently going through a construction boom. It's located in a very picturesque place. You got mountains on one side and the Caspian Sea on the other. But the problem is the sea is polluted and so are the beaches. Here you have hot, dry summers and mild winters, but the local mentality is very different from the rest of Russia. It's very conservative, 85% follow Islam, and ethnic Russians account for just 5% of the population. Family comes first in everything, which is good, but at the same time it brings nepotism and corruption. A lot of the things about the city, like medical care and roads, are in a very sorry state. The most important industrial sector is the oil refineries, as well as textile factories. And unemployment in Dagestan in 2020 was at 15%, and good jobs are extremely hard to find. And the average salary is one of the lowest in the list, $458 a month. And now we're going to relocate back to the far east of Russia and talk about the city of Khabarovsk, and my friend Natasha is going to help me with that. Natasha, please take it away.
Number 24. Khabarovsk. The city has a population of 610,000 people and is located at the confluence of two rivers, the Amur and the Ussur River. And this city is located in the far east of Russia, 8,000 kilometers far from Moscow, and just 30 kilometers away far from China. Recently, the city was all over the news because of the protests that began in July of 2020 in support of the local governor Sergei Furgal, who won elections in 2018 in a landslide victory, but was arrested 2 years later. One of the downsides of living in the city is the weather, because it gets too cold in the winter and too hot in the summer. Another thing is that it is really far from Moscow, but the upside is the proximity to Asian countries. Believe it or not, it is the sunniest city on the list. Every year it gets 2,400 hours of sunshine. That is 50% more than in St. Petersburg. The economy is based on timber, oil, gas, and energy industries, where some professionals can make as much as $2,500 a month, but a regular school teacher will make only around $350. Back to you, Slava.
Thanks, Natasha. And next on the list is number 23. Irkutsk. Irkutsk has a population of 618,000 people. The city lies on the Angara River, a tributary of the Yenisei. The city was founded in 1661 and was an exile post for much of the 19th century. During the Russian Civil War, Irkutsk became the site of many furious, bloody clashes between the Whites and the Reds. One of the many city's attractions is the city promenade along the Angara. There are a lot of wooden houses in the center of Irkutsk. The leading industries are heavy engineering and food products. From 2002, the population increased by 4%, and the average salary today is impressive, $717 a month. Tourism plays an important part because this is the closest major city to Lake Baikal, the largest freshwater lake on Earth. There's so many things you can do here. You can even go skating on the lake. And you may be familiar with this girl. It's Ellie from Russia. Number 22. Ulyanovsk. Ulyanovsk is a city on the Volga River, 705 kilometers east of Moscow, with a population of 625,000 people, known as the birthplace of Soviet leader Vladimir Lenin. Ulyanovsk has some famous aircraft and auto companies like UAZ Auto Manufacturing Plant and Aviastar Aircraft Company, but other than that, good jobs are very hard to find. The average salary is one of the lowest on the list, $477 a month. From 2002, the population decreased by 1.7%, and that always indicates that something is wrong. Well, what's wrong? Low wages and few career opportunities. Some locals say street crime is still a problem in some parts of the city. The city is losing the competition to other cities on the Volga like Kazan and Samara. The biggest advantage of all these cities is the proximity to the Volga, which lets you do so many things in the summer, like camping and fishing and swimming. Alright, moving on to number 21. For that, we'll have to relocate back to Siberia, the city of Barnaul. Barnaul is a city on the western banks of the Ob River in the Altai region of Siberia with a population of 631,000 people. The city was founded in the 18th century as a center of silver and copper mining by the wealthy Demidov family who brought peasants to work here. Today, Barnaul is a major city in the southwest of Siberia. From 2002, the population increased by 5%. Average salary is low, $519 a month, but typical starting salaries can be even lower, $250 a month. Few opportunities, cold winters, mosquitoes in the summer, and remoteness from the major cities is no fun. Altai region is one of the poorest regions overall. On the bright side, the city has a lot of green spaces and a nice promenade along the Ob, and it's sunny here. The city gets 2,200 sunshine hours a year. Barnaul is the closest city to the Altai Mountains, just a 3-hour drive from Barnaul, and you'll find yourself among the most beautiful mountains and lakes. Number 20. Izhevsk. Back to Central Russia. Izhevsk is the capital of Udmurt Republic with a population of 646,000 people. It's located along the Izh River, west of the Ural Mountains. The local economy is based on defense, engineering, and metallurgy companies. There is an auto plant, Lada Izhevsk, which is part of Avtovaz, that makes Lada Vestas. There's also Kalashnikov company that used to make the world-famous AK-47s. Today they're still making pistols, machine guns, and even rockets. The average salary in the city is $544, but typical wages start as low as $300 a month. The city is green, there's a huge city pond, and beautiful nature outside the city. But not a lot of things to do for the young people, and a lot of young people are leaving as soon as they finish school. No international airport and cold climate to make things worse. But all in all, it's just an average town in Russia. Since 2002, the population increased by 2%. Number 19. Tolyatti. Tolyatti is situated along the Volga with a population of 693,000 people. Tolyatti was founded in 1737 as a fortress called Stavropol. You might be thinking, Tolyatti? What kind of weird name is that? In the Soviet period, it was renamed after an Italian communist who accepted Soviet citizenship and died in Crimea. Tolyatti is best known as the home of Russia's largest car manufacturer, Avtovaz, that makes the famous Russian Ladas. Most of the modern city was constructed in the 1960s to house the workers of the factory. That's why it doesn't have any sites, but at least it was well planned and has a lot of parks. Today, Avtovaz employs 110,000 people. How much does an assembly line worker make a month? $400 to $500 a month. Locals also complain about chemical plants polluting the city. Luckily, for a big city, Tolyatti is surprisingly lush with trees that certainly help with the pollution problem. Many parts of the city and the promenade along the Volga are run down. The nearest airport is Samara's airport, which is just 50 minutes away. The city's population has decreased by 1.4% since 2002. Number 18. Tyumen. Tyumen is situated just east of the Ural Mountains, along the Tura River, with a population of 817,000 people. It was founded in 1586 to support Russia's eastward expansion. Tyumen was the first Russian settlement in Siberia. It's by far the fastest growing city in this list. The population increased by 60% since 2002. Wow! What's the appeal to live in this cold Siberian city? Jobs, employment. Rich oil and gas fields were discovered in the region in the 1960s. While most of these lay hundreds of kilometers away, Tyumen was the nearest railway junction, and so the city became their supply base, while the railway extended northwards. Today, Tyumen is an important service center for the oil and gas companies of the West Siberia. Employment opportunities bring a lot of people here, The city's very modern. They built a lot of high-quality roads, new malls, and a lot of new residential construction to keep up with the demand. Tyumen is the type of city that's got the energy. There's a lot of things happening, and it's fun to live in a city like that. Around the city, you'll find a lot of hot springs, which brings a lot of tourists. Average salary is $800, and even the median salary of $586 is pretty impressive and higher than in other similar cities. Number 17. Saratov. Back to the Volga region. It's another city on the Volga with a population of 830,000 people. Seems like most of the cities along the Volga are struggling. From 2002, the population decreased by 4.9%. That's a lot. Saratov was founded in 1590 and developed as a shipping port along the Volga and was historically important to the Volga Germans, ethnic Germans who settled along the Volga in the 18th century. They were allowed to maintain their German cultural language, traditions, and churches. In the early 20th century, many Volga Germans emigrated to Wisconsin, Minnesota, Kansas, and other states in the US. After the German invasion in 1941, the Soviet government deported many of them eastward, where thousands died. Russian history has a lot of tragic moments. Saratov has a lot of manufacturing companies, but because of them, the environment situation is mediocre. Add bad roads to that and low wages, and you'll see why population is going down. The upside is that it's a fairly warm and sunny city, and it has a nice promenade along the Volga. And like we discussed earlier, living along the Volga or any major river is a big upside. Number 16. Krasnodar. Krasnodar has a population of 949,000 people. The city stands on the Kuban River. It was founded in 1793 as a fortress and built by the Cossacks to become a trading center for southern Russia. It's the second fastest growing city on this list after Tyumen. Since 2002, the population increased by a staggering 47% and will soon top the 1 million mark. Why are all these people moving here? Because it's warm, it's sunny, and it's just 2 hours away from the Black Sea and the Caucasus Mountains. How warm is it? It's about as warm as New York City or Rome, Italy, but the summer months of July and August can be brutally hot, like in Texas, 35 Celsius every day and above. While it's great having more people for the city economy, Krasnodar was not built to be a major city. So now they're dealing with the problems they did not anticipate, like traffic congestion, lots of chaotic and regulated residential construction, some parts of the city are turning into a concrete jungle, trees are getting cut down. The average salary is $640, but with so many newcomers, good jobs are hard to find. The city is famous for its football club, Krasnodar, and it has probably the best city park in Russia. Built by the founder of retail chain Magnat, Sergei Galitsky, one of the best entrepreneurs of modern Russia. It's a great city and has little pollution, and for those with a lot of money, the city's got some fantastic neighborhoods, like this German village, where houses go for several $100,000, but you get a house with a swimming pool in a gated neighborhood in Russia. Number 15. Volgograd. Volgograd is another city in the south of Russia. It stands on the western bank of the Volga River. The population of the city is 1,005,000 people. Formerly known as Stalingrad, it was the site of the Second World War's Battle of Stalingrad, today commemorated by a huge statue, the Motherland Calls. It is also in the south of Russia, but it's not as successful as Krasnodar. Since 2002, the population decreased by 0.6%. Why is that? It's the poorest city in Russia among the cities with a population of over 1 million. Though the average salary is $521, which is not a lot, in reality many people work for $250 or $350 a month. Good jobs are extremely hard to find, and the climate is not for everyone. It gets too hot and dry in the summer. Volgograd is in the steppe region, so no trees can grow unless you plant them, water them, and take good care of them. There are a lot of insects too, like midges, the same ones that annoyed soccer players during World Cup in 2018. On the bright side, the city is on the Volga, and it gets plenty of sunshine. Number 14. The city of Perm. Perm has a population of 1,049,000 people, and it's located on the banks of the Kama River near the Ural Mountains. Since 2002, the population increased by 4.7%. Perm was founded in 1723, the same year as Yekaterinburg, by the same person, Vasily Tatishev. The Perm's position on the navigable Kama River leading to the Volga helped it become an important trade and manufacturing center. Today, Perm is a major railway hub and one of the industrial centers of the country. There are plenty of jobs, and the average salary is $617. But the range is huge. Cafe workers get paid $250 a month, and the highest paying jobs are in the mining industry, an average of $825. However, compared to the nearby Kazan and Yekaterinburg, the city is lagging behind in many ways. From here you can take a Volga River cruise all the way to Volgograd. The city is surrounded by beautiful nature. Climate is cold and it's not very sunny. Number 13. Voronezh. The city of Voronezh was founded in 1585. Today it's a large industrial center on the Voronezh River with a population of 1,051,000 people. The city has a comfortable climate with fairly hot summers, but not scorching hot like in Krasnodar or Volgograd, and mild winters. The city has a great location, just 4 hours away from Ukraine and 6 hours away from Moscow, and 10 hours away from the Black Sea. Not super close, but compared to 35 hours from Yekaterinburg, it's doable. Local jobs don't pay much. The average salary is $552. That's the biggest downside. But the city is developing fast and is surrounded by beautiful nature. There's very little pollution in the city. I remember growing up always thought of Voronezh as a big village, but it's come a long way and it's a different city now. Not as fancy as Kazan or Moscow, but it's cozy and comfortable. From 2002, the population increased by 23.8%, and that tells you something. People are moving here from the harsh climate of Siberia and the Urals, bringing their skills and new ideas. From the drone in the summer, the city looks fantastic. Lots of green spaces. Number 12. Back to Siberia. By the way, if you were to drive to Krasnoyarsk from Voronezh, it would take you 55 hours. That's how big Russia is. Krasnoyarsk is a city on the Yenisei River and has a population of 1,092,000 people. Krasnoyarsk is a major industrial center of Russia and a transportation hub on the Trans-Siberian Railway. From 2002, the population increased by 20%. Why? Plenty of jobs. Average salary of those working in the metallurgical industries can be $900 to $1,000 and more. The economy is centered around non-ferrous metallurgy, and Krasnoyarsk is one of the largest producers of aluminum in the country. In addition, the city has a lot of universities, including the Siberian Federal University. As you might expect, it gets pretty cold during the winter. The record low is negative 52.8 Celsius. But because of the Krasnoyarsk hydroelectric dam, 32 kilometers upstream, the Yenisei never freezes in winter. Because of all these industrial companies, air pollution is a big problem. And I mean really big. Just look at it. The main cause of the black sky is coal smoke. Krasnoyarsk has one of the largest hydroelectric power stations in the country, and at the same time the city is heated with coal and receives energy from coal. At the same time, Krasnoyarsk is surrounded by beautiful forested mountains. It's like whatever nature did is perfect, and whatever man is trying to do is the opposite. Because there are lots of mountains, there are lots of skiing resorts, and in the summertime it's a great place to go hiking or rafting, so come visit Krasnoyarsk in the summer. Next, number 11. Ufa. Ufa is the capital and the largest city of the Republic of Bashkortostan, with a population of 1,126,000 people. The city lies at the confluence of the Belia and Ufa rivers, to the west of the southern Ural Mountains. The city was founded in 1574, when a fortress was built on the side of the city by order of Ivan the Terrible. The average salary today is $644 a month. Petroleum company Bashneft, which stands for Bashkirian Oil, and several of its subsidiaries are headquartered in Ufa. Ufa is home to several oil refining and petrochemical industries, as well as several machine-building plants. However, over the past 10 years, most of the republic's assets, including oil production, have moved from regional to state ownership, including Bashneft, which is now part of Rosneft. And Ufa's city budget suffered greatly, as well as the city's ability to develop and create a quality urban environment, like in Moscow and Kazan. The city has a nice promenade along the Belair River. Major ethnic groups are Russians, 48.9%, Tatars, 28.3%, and Bashkirs, 17.1%. Bashkirs and Tatars are Muslim, so you'll see a lot of mosques alongside Orthodox churches in the city. Since 2002, the population increased by 8.1%. Now my buddy Konstantin is going to introduce his hometown of Rostov.
Rostov-on-Don is country's largest city in the south of Russia with population of 1,138,000 people, sitting at a convenient location when Don River meets the Sea of Azov. Rostov was founded in 1749 as a fortress to protect the southern border of Russia. The city is an industrial center with companies like Rossельmash, an international agricultural machinery manufacturer, and Rosvertol, producing both civilian and military choppers. The best thing about Rostov is that it's warm. Summers are hot and dry, and winters are mild and relatively short. The city has a fantastic location. It's only 4.5 drive to the Black Sea and 1 hour drive to the Sea of Azov. Rostov's top attractions include the historic city center and the Don River embankment and all Russia-famous Leberdon, river's left side coast. Leberdon became a world-famous site when it hosted the games of the FIFA World Cup 2018. And yes, Brazil played here, at the new football stadium at the very heart of the FIFA World Cup park. What really makes Rostov different from the rest of the country is people with their unique Southern Cossack culture. The melting pot of Russians, Armenians, Georgians, Ukrainians, and others, warm, welcoming, generous, fair, outgoing, and they have no problem showing it to strangers. Also, the rumor has it that the most beautiful girls in Russia live in Rostov. Among downsides of Rostov are slow traffic, low wages. Although the average salary officially is $600, it's not unusual to see people working for $300 per month, and lots of dust that can be very irritating. Overall, Rostov is one of the best cities in entire Russia.
Good stuff. Appreciate it, Kostya. Number 9. The city of Omsk. Omsk is the second largest city in Siberia, located at the confluence of the Irtysh and Om rivers. It has a population of 1,139,000 people. Omsk was founded in 1716, around the time when the Russian farmers and Cossacks started to settle in Siberia, and it was a fortress first and later served as a place of exile for many years. The construction of the Trans-Siberian Railroad in the 1890s led to the rapid economic growth. Today it's an industrial city and a transportation hub, just 2 hours away from the border with Kazakhstan. The economy is based on oil refining, petrochemistry, chemical industry, and mechanical engineering, but the wages are low. The average salary is just $553 a month. The city doesn't seem to have a long-term development strategy and to be moving forward. That's why a lot of young, ambitious people try to move away to other cities. And the population barely changed since 2002, just 1% growth. Although the city is on the same latitude as Moscow, the climate is very different. Summers are hotter and winters are colder. At least it's sunny here. Number 8. Samara. Samara is a city in southwestern Russia with a population of 1,144,000 people, and it's framed by the Volga and Samara rivers. During the Soviet era, it was a closed city because it was the center of rocket-building industry. But even today, it's known for the production of aerospace launch vehicles, satellites, and other related equipment. It's an industrial city, and pollution is one of the concerns. Although the average salary officially is $593, a lot of people are working for $350 a month or less. Some say the city is not well taken care of, but at least they did a good job on the city embankment. It's a 5-kilometer-long city promenade along the Volga, one of the most popular spots in the city. In the summertime, it's fantastic. You can go swimming or fishing or go on a river cruise. The city's sitting in a very nice location between steppes and forests, very picturesque. Since 2002, population has decreased by 1.1%, which tells you something ain't right. Number 7. The 7th largest city is Chelyabinsk, with a population of 1,188,000 people. It's an industrial city close to the Ural Mountains, surrounded by lakes. It's famous for its tank production and Chelyabinsk meteor that hit the city in February 2013. Some of the current challenges of the city are air pollution and long-term economic decay. The city produces 60% of Russia's zinc, 40% of large diameter pipes, and 6% of rolled steel and ferrous metals. However, salaries are low, and it seems that Chelyabinsk just doesn't have what it takes to be a fun place to live in. There's nothing special about it. That's why locals try to move to other parts of Russia or abroad. The best thing about Chelyabinsk is that it's surrounded by great nature and endless lakes, hundreds of them. Other than that, it's behind its neighbor Yekaterinburg, which is just 2 hours away in almost every way. Average salary in the city is $560 a month, and population increased by 10% since 2002. Number 6. Nizhny Novgorod. Nizhny Novgorod has a population of 1,244,000 people. The city is located at the confluence of Oka and Volga rivers. It was founded in 1221, and it's known for its 16th century Kremlin. It was close to foreign tourists during the Soviet times because of its military production and R&D companies. Today it's a major industrial center in Russia. Some of the famous companies are Gaz, automobile plant employing 25,000 people. That's producing Gazelle minibuses and Volgas. They also have shipbuilding and plane building plants making the famous MiG jets. The city is split into two parts, upper part and lower part, and you can take a cable car to go from one to the other and enjoy the views. A new football stadium was completed for the 2018 Soccer World Cup. Except for the city promenade and the Kremlin, locals say that the city is neglected and dirty. The city's been losing population for many years, and since 2002 the population has decreased by 5%, and it seems like the city is stuck in its development. Just like Chelyabinsk, it's struggling to keep its people from moving away. Average salary is the same as in Chelyabinsk, $560, but it's pretty misleading because at the car plant people are making $350 on the average. It's a very beautiful city to visit as a tourist, but living here is another story. The best part about the city is the beautiful views of the confluence of the two rivers, Oka and Volga. Number 5. Kazan. Kazan is a beautiful city on the banks of the Volga and Kazanka rivers, with a population of 1,257,000 people. It was founded all the way in the year 1005, which makes it over 1,000 years old. It's the capital of the Republic of Tatarstan and the cultural center of the Tatar people, and it's best known for its centuries-old Kazan Kremlin. It's a tourist-friendly city with a beautiful promenade. The local economy is based on petrochemical, engine building, metal and woodworking enterprises. The average salary is $663. It's one of the best managed cities in Russia for sure. It's clean, it has great roads, a subway system, bicycle lanes, a wonderful city center and promenade, a state-of-the-art soccer stadium with the largest outside screen in the world, a racetrack, and so much more. It's a city that impresses and claims to be the third capital of Russia, although I'm sure Novosibirsk and Yekaterinburg will argue with that. But some say there might be a little bit of discrimination, and unless you're an ethnic Tatar, you can't build a government career here. The largest ethnic groups in the city are Russians, 48.6%, and Tatars, 47.6%. The population increased by an impressive 13.8% since 2002.
And finally, number 4, my hometown of Yekaterinburg. Today it has a population of 1.5 million people.
It was founded in 1723, and since then it served as the mining capital of the Russian Empire. It's known as the place where they executed the Tsar family in 1918. Church on the Blood was built on the site of the Apatyev house, where the execution happened. Also, Boris Yeltsin, the first Russian president, started his political career here. The economy of the city is doing better than other cities of similar size, which brings the average salary to $712 a month. There are lots of good colleges, including the Ural State University. The population has increased by 15.5% since 2002. The city offers a wide range of career opportunities from IT jobs to metallurgy. It's a business city with a great location, connecting east and west. I can be in Moscow in 2.5 hours, and I can be in Novosibirsk in 2.5 hours. And flights are affordable. Also, the time difference is not an issue. It's just 2 hours ahead of Moscow and 1 hour behind Novosibirsk. The city has a subway system with just one line, trams and buses, but most of the city is pretty walkable anyway. There is a good choice of restaurants, coffee shops, and craft beer spots. Outside of the city, you'll find some medium-sized ski resorts and parks.
What about the downsides? Well, the biggest downside is the weather. We get cold winters here, not as bad as in Siberia, but still. And another downside is we don't have any huge rivers around the city. That's a bummer.
Number 3. Novosibirsk. It's the largest city in Siberia on the Ob River with a population of 1,620,000 people. It was founded in 1893, and the Trans-Siberian Railway fueled much of the city's growth. It became a large industrial center during the Stalin period, and today it's an industrial, educational, and scientific center of Siberia. It offers great career opportunities in industries like energy, gas supply, metallurgy, and others. There are a lot of startup companies like Movavi. It's a video editor which I use sometimes. The average salary in the city is $642, which is not all that impressive actually, but it keeps bringing people in, and the population increased by 13.6% since 2002. There are a lot of good universities. The city has a subway system and an international airport. Flight time to Moscow is 4 hours, and time difference is 3 hours. The architecture outside the city center is nothing special, mostly boring Soviet buildings. Akademgorodok is a district 30 kilometers outside the city center, and they call it the Siberian Silicon Valley, and it features Novosibirsk State University and 35 research institutes. What are the downsides? It's cold, that's number one. In the winter, there's so much snow in the city that the city cleaning department doesn't keep up, so the city becomes a mess. Also, the locals complain that the city gets dusty and polluted. Luckily, it's surrounded by Siberian forests. And we're coming to number 2, St. Petersburg. It's a Russian port city on the Baltic Sea. Today its population is 5,384,000 people, and since 2002 it's increased by 15.4%. What brings people here? Better career opportunities, better wages, and proximity to Europe. And they say it's the most beautiful Russian city. St. Petersburg was founded in 1703 by Peter the Great, and it's home to countless cathedrals, palaces, theaters, and museums, including the Hermitage, one of the largest art museums in the world. It's also famous for its drawbridges and white nights. Tourism is an important part of the economy, although the economy is very diversified, from shipbuilding yards to medical equipment production. The Lechta Center is the tallest building in Europe, and it contains the headquarters of the largest Russian company, Gazprom. The average salary in the city is $992 a month, which is much higher than what we've seen so far. But there are downsides, of course. The city's latitude is almost the same as Anchorage, Alaska, which means lack of sunshine. Just 1,636 sunshine hours a year. Also, the weather is unpredictable and changes all the time. People say this will eventually get to you, and people don't last here more than 5 years before they start getting depressed, unless they're taking a lot of vitamin D. Also, it's humid, it's windy, and it makes you feel miserable in the winter. I'd take the Siberian cold over this any day. And finally, number 1, Moscow. My friend Marcus will help me out with this one, because he's lived in the city for 11 years. Take it away, Marcus.
And finally, Russia's capital and largest city by far, Moscow, on the Moskva River. The population today is 12,655,000, and since 2002, it has increased by an impressive 24.7%. On average, that's over 150,000 per year. Moscow offers the best standards of living and the best opportunities in Russia overall. This is also where you'll find the best universities and hospitals. It's never boring. Just like New York City, there's always something going on. Theaters, museums, concerts, different language clubs, you name it. The city's got convenient public transportation, including a subway system with 250 stations. It's the wealthiest city in Russia with 71 billionaires and an average monthly salary of $1,514, twice that of most of the cities we've just covered. In Moscow, you can live a very comfortable life as long as you're making enough money. It's clean and it's safe. Any downsides? Long winters and just 1,731 hours of sunshine per year. Traffic congestion. If you're driving, it's not unusual if it takes you 2 hours to get from one part of the city to another. But nothing's perfect, right? So why don't all Russians move to Moscow? Because it's expensive. The average cost of rent for a Moscow apartment is $680 per month, and few can afford that.
Thanks, Marcus. Alright, so let's sum it up. Cities in the far east of Russia. You get good wages, cold weather but sunny, but the consumer prices are also 30 to 40% higher than in the rest of Russia. It's far from Moscow and it's close to Asia. In the cities of Siberia, you get good wages, pollution problems, very cold winters, but still sunny. In the Ural cities, you get good wages, but cold winters. In the cities of the Volga region, you get mild climate, low wages, and lack of opportunities except for Kazan. In the south of Russia, you get warm, sunny weather, but very low wages. And in Moscow, you get okay weather and best career and business opportunities. I try to be as accurate as I can, but come on, it's 30 cities, so take it easy on me if I don't get everything right. If you decided to visit Russia after watching this video sometime in the future, you can contact Marcus and he's gonna hook you up with a Russian visa. I will leave his contact info in the description.
If you're planning a trip to Russia and you have questions about or you need help with the visa process, contact our team at letsrussia.com and we'd be glad to help you experience Russia.
Well, it took some time to put this video together, and I want to thank Natasha and Konstantin and Marcus for being part of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know which city impressed you the most. I'll see you in my next one. Thanks for watching.